Hello, everybody. This is Grace on a Journey with Grace on a Journey Channelings. Welcome to the newcomer, and to my fellow travelers, welcome back. You are very much appreciated. Today's channeling is going to be interesting because it's going to come with a different twist. I was advised to use my deck of animals because all animals have some type of symbolism. And the three animals that came out, first one, a bird, which is a quail. Second one, a pig. Third one, a vulture. Now, when they came out, right then and there, I kind of got a vibe of how today's reading was going to go, because I know what they symbolize. And if you do your research, you can uncover in detail what they symbolize. Be in the awareness, however, that different cultures and different times in history, there are animals that had a different type of symbolism. Today, they may, for example, I'll get into detail and explain what I mean about that. But different cultures and different times also influence the symbolism of whatever you're looking into. However, I was guided to use the type of symbolism of my time and of my culture. What are those animals known for today? And this is how I gathered the information that I'm going to be sharing with you today. So, for those of you that don't know what the quail symbolizes, they symbolize adaptability in life and creation. Okay? Now, pigs, a lot of people get offended if you call them a pig. And the reason why is because of the way people link them to greed and laziness. Okay? Now, the third is the vulture. And that's usually associated, I'm going to let the class answer, because I'm sure everyone will come up with death. Vultures are usually connected to or viewed as being connected to death. And that's just the common opinion of whatever society that you abide in. So, as I was saying, today's channeling is going to come with a little twist. Okay, the channeling will be linked to these three characters. Okay? The quail, the pig, and the vulture. So as I go into this spread, and it's a larger spread than usual because that's just what I was inspired to do. Although I'm going to do my best and do it in a timely manner, but there's a lot of information that needs to get out there, and I'm just the one to do it. So the first one, wow, I didn't even catch that. The first card that I got today was authentic self. Who are you? So the reason why that, brings a smile is because I see that I just mentioned to you today's channeling will be linked to these 3 characters, not even connecting the dots and seeing what the first card was, which is authentic self. Who are you? And that's exactly how it's going to connect to today's channeling, because some of you in the collective are the Quail. Some of you are the pig. The truth will set you free. Some of you are the vulture. The truth will set you free. Now, the truth does not always give you the results that you want to hear, or it's not always coming with a vibe that's bringing you happiness and joy and so forth. Sometimes the truth hurts, right? But it's sent to you with the objective of waking up to seeing yourself, your shadow self, and possibly considering transformation. You see, it's never just to bring you down and, to never get back up. It's brought to you to take an opportunity and go within, meditate, and see what you arrive at. One of the reasons why some people find it very difficult to develop themselves or experience transformation is because they are very defensive in nature. So even if you approach them with a good intention, they gather that, you're challenging them in some way, or you're seeing yourself as better than, whatever the case. And that is why a lot of these characters, for lack of a better word, end up learning things the hard way, because when guidance was given or offered, it was not accepted or appreciated. And so this is why it's important for us to value, the stories that our ancestors would share with the children of the villages, and with your family members. And it's very good to consider I'm trying to find the right wording here, the riddles, the wisdom, a lot of these stories that we heard when we was growing up. For example, I had a great uncle who in his life was very instrumental to me, because he used to be like a storyteller. And he was very successful in his life, right? Achieved a lot of great things, right? Left a legacy. However, he also had time to sit down with his grandnieces and nephews and tell him stories from yesterday, stories that his grandparents told him, or, or he heard along the way. Some of them he created on his own. And he had such a way of delivery that I had family members that actually recorded him, as he would tell us stories, because they would record him, and then before video games, like this obsession with video games and social media and so forth, we actually would play these stories that he shared with us, and we learned a lot of things in between the lines. And this is why I encourage bonding and with family members, especially those that are of a different generation, because they have a story to tell, and sometimes that story can make you take a right direction instead of learning things or having to experience things the hard way. Question. Authentic self. Who are you? Are you the quail? Are you the pig? Are you the vulture? The good thing about today is you get to determine what you are. Confirmation. You're not going to be labeled. You're not going to be misjudged. You're not going to be lied on. All right? Because that would be low vibrational. You are going to decide for yourself. See, the next card is balance. It's important to be balanced, as I've shared several times before. Balance is the fruit of the universe. You know what that's telling me? That sometimes you could be more than one of those characters. Sometimes you could be the quail. Other times you could be the pig, or the quail and the pig, or the quail and the vulture. You see, sometimes you show up in a different manner due to the difference in circumstance. Although we are called to be balanced because it's the fruit of the universe, when you are your authentic self, in your truth, you are a quail. Or in your truth, you are the vulture. Or in your truth, you are the pig. Whichever one that is authentic to you. And all of these animals have positives and negatives. For example, when I did my research on the pig, I came across that in some areas in ancient Egypt, pigs were regarded as, symbolized as fertility, right? So there are positives and negatives. There are strengths and, I don't like to employ the word weaknesses, but I'll go with challenges. That's what I prefer to use. With everything. You understand? And so the goal is to be balanced. This is not calling for you to be a pig and a quail. It's not calling for you to be a vulture and a quail. It's calling for you to be balanced in the light and what's seemingly the dark. The dark is regarded as, because it's misunderstood, right? When you are one that stands up for yourself, defends yourself, says the truth, disregarding the consequences, unapologetic in nature, some view that as a dark aspect of you. Oh, you know, she's too outspoken. She's too confident. Instead of looking at it as confidence, they'll look at it as arrogant, right? Instead of looking at it as defending themselves, they're looking at it as talking too much. You understand? But sometimes it's called for you to be in peace, for you to disconnect, retreat, not participate, detangle yourselves from the drama, right? And please believe I really enjoy that side of things. But then there are other times when you are called to stand up, right? To have no fear. To set the record straight. To watch them fall. And to see death. You see, when you're under attack, right? And you have a calling. You were called to fulfill a task. And some of you were called on a international level, right? Not just for your corner of the world, but you're called to leave an imprint. And you have those that are lazy, that are greedy, that disregard what would benefit us all, right? And want to attack you and lie on you and troll and so forth. Please understand that you have backup. I'm going to say that again. Some of y'all need to use your backup, okay? Because you're not alone. God would never put you on this path if He did not have you surrounded by security. Let me tell you what I love about God. Can I share my truth this morning? What I love about God is the fact when you belong to Him, when you on His team, right? When you trying to do things in a righteous way. When you're not looking for trouble, you don't see them. You don't look for them. You block them. And when I say block, I mean by means of telephone, by means of email, by means of you don't frequent where they frequent. You don't, wherever you used to, in my case, right? I was attacked by a coven. All right. They utilized my ex. I was not aware that he was a Judas, and I was not aware of his gang of Jezebels, right? The goal was to steal from me, to kill, steal, and destroy. You understand? So they sent him in, right? To love bomb me, to come with the tale of love, right? But because he was so well masked, I did not see that he was a pig. Yes, I said it. I said it because pigs symbolize what? Greed and laziness. If you are married to someone, right, and you have not contributed in the entire people, you have ups and downs, right? You have moments where things are okay and other moments where things are challenging. But I'm talking about the entire, you have not paid a bill. Okay? You have not been supportive. In fact, you would be taking from my supply what God has blessed me with, right? And brought to these Jezebels and, the harem of whores. All right? I gave them a name. What was the name? It was the Whores of Horror. Some of you, I'm sure, have heard of the House of Horror. Well, same difference, the Whores of Horror. But getting back to the channeling, you can't expect for you to come in. This is not even something that you decided on the way or when I disappointed you. This is something that you premeditated. This is something you got paid for. This is something you getting blackmailed about because they have proof that you gave them your hand. And you got the shekels of silver, right? To backstab me. Someone that's helped you. Someone that's never harmed you. Someone that's paid lawyer fees for you. Someone that's paid food for you. Someone that's paid clothes for you. Someone that's even assisted your family members financially. Someone, the hand that fed you is what you bit. Why am I seeing vultures? Why am I seeing vultures and carcasses? Every action has a reaction. When God has anointed someone to deliver prophecy, to deliver teaching, to deliver encouragement, to deliver healing, to deliver education, to deliver hope, and you traded them in for silver. I see a tree. I see someone hanging from a tree. Those with eyes can see. Because sometimes after you come for the wrong one, you can't live with yourself. Right? You can't live with yourself. You can't sleep. You can't sit. You can't think. You can't function. You can't work. You can't stop drinking. You can't stop taking drugs. You can't stop being with the next whore and the next whore and the next whore and the next female and the next female and the next male and the next male and the next child and the next child. You've ruined your life. And this is why I'm seeing someone hanging from a tree. In your betrayal of me, you hung yourself, right? In your attempt to sacrifice me, you sacrificed yourself. In your attempt to steal from me and leave me on empty, you co-created this hell for yourself, your kids, and your future generation after generation after generation. I'm tired of saying after generation. Oh, the time is now. Judgment day is now. The day of reckoning is now. Now y'all could play and pretend and act when you are in assemblies, in public, and pretend that everything is well and swell. And life is bell. Right? But so, what about those of us with eyes? Right? What about what we see, right? What about the torment we see you in? What about the times we see you knocking your head on the wall? What about the times we see you on the bed crying? What about the time we hear you saying, why me? Why me? Why me? What about that? You see, I said when you're in God's team, right? You don't walk alone. You're never alone. And so even though I was attacked by an entire COVID, and why? Some of you are saying, why? Why was she attacked? Why was she attacked? Let me tell you something. Though a lot of you out there in the collective have been living in the matrix a little overtime, right? And you've been in the illusion that what you see on TV is just TV. What you see in the movies is just movies. What they say in the fairy tales is just fairy tales. But as I've shared to you with you before, balance is the fruit of the universe. And so everything that's been delivered to you, mind, body, and soul, has been delivered to you with half-truths, right? The fairy tales are half-truths. The movies are half true. And today, we're in a season that you can watch a movie. You could hear a song. You could see a painting. And that's your entire existence. I've seen movies before sharing this very story I am sharing with you. About how a COVID went after a wife because the husband sold her out. About how a COVID went after someone's womb, right? Wanted to steal someone's fertility, wanted to steal their womb, wanted to steal their ability to create. I've seen movies like that before. I'm hearing songs like that right now. You know why? Because this is going on a global scale. Right after COVID, this is going on a global scale. Because this is the beginning for some, all right, and the end for others. We are in a season of recalibration. We have witnessed masses of people transition. And those who are standing firm and fulfilling what they were called to do in this season. To be the pioneers for this new day. Know that you're covered. I said know that you are covered. Those with eyes already know. Okay? Those with ears already know. Okay? Those that receive downloads already know that things are going to get worse for a certain percentage. And things are going to get better for a certain percentage. And this is why everyone is talking about a shift. You see, those that stole, those that killed, those that, and got away with it for centuries. Please be aware, it's their children's children, tired of saying children, that are still doing it today. And this is why they are of cursed bloodline. You see, sometimes I got to tell you the truth, people. I can't always tell you, it's everything is going to be great. You're going to be rich. You're going to live a long life. You're going to live great. I'm a truth teller. It's common knowledge we're not always well received. And this is why I am protected as much as I am. This is why my spiritual support team stands in defense. This is why those that come after me fall. Vultures and carcasses. Vultures and carcasses. I see vultures and carcasses. First card was, which one are you? Tell me why. Tell me why this next card says fire. You know why? Because fire burns. Sometimes that same fire you lit for someone else, hey, is the one that consumes you. Next card, watch your words. See, this is why a lot of you are being consumed by the fire, because you couldn't watch your words. You couldn't stop lying. You couldn't stop defaming my character. You couldn't stop. You just couldn't stop. You got so involved in the dark arts that it consumed you. You are possessed. When someone does no harm to you till this day, your determination of harm, because of my freedom of telling my truth, my story, is not my business. I have the freedom to share my story. As a matter of fact, I was called to share my story because it's through my story others will gain their strength, others will gain their hope, others will form their paths. And this is why you can't shut me up, and you will not shut me up. And you wish to shut me up. Next card is go deep and explore your roots. Let me tell you, we've been programmed to fear our roots. Okay. Fear our cultures, fear our traditions. And this is because we were being fed for centuries half-truths. Can someone say half-truths? Half-truths. Because if they were telling the truth and nothing but the whole truth, so help us God, they would be in the mindset that the fruit of the universe is balance. Therefore, the ancients, our ancestors, those from the past, they came with positives and negatives. But they've brainwashed you to demonize them. They've brainwashed you to run away from them. They've brainwashed you to belittle them. And you don't understand why you can't have a relationship. You don't understand why you don't receive warnings when you're in trouble. You don't understand why it is that you can't feel their presence. And that's due to your disattachment. Right? The next card is the chess game. You have to know how to maneuver in these days. You have to know it will benefit you to honor your ancestors, right? And with your intelligence, wisdom, intuition, guidance, and so forth, you can determine what would work for you too. How did they obtain their freedom? How did they stand up to their oppressors? How did they get through day by day, day by day, day by day, without their spirits dying? You see, when you're enslaved, when you're battered, when you're humiliated, when you're used, it has a way of affecting you. It has a way of chipping off of you. It has a way of bringing the death of you. Right? How did they get through it? Where did their strength come from? There's no way around it, people. I'm just going to tell you how it is. There's no way around it. You see, without learning about your past, you will not be able to obtain the tools that can assist you to manifest the future that your ancestors dreamed of. See, I'm going to tell you again. There's no way around it. And the good news is confirmation. The good news is you don't have to dabble in satanic rituals like the pigs. The pigs have already been possessed. Right? That is not your portion, right? The legions found their ways to the pigs, right? Confirmation. And being in awareness that is not your portion, oh, it's time. It's time to get it right. It's time for you to go sit down with yourself and go within. It's time for you to ask, help me to see what I don't see. Help me to hear what I don't hear. Help me to know what I don't know. All those for my highest good. All those for my highest good. Including God. Including angels. Including your ancestors. Including. Those for my highest good. Assist me to fulfill my soul's purpose. I'm being told to share some guidance with those of you that are being attacked, have been attacked, is tired of attack. One of the ways to get rid of the connections with your attackers is cord cutting, right? And you don't do it one time. You do that every day. You do that every day. Okay? Until God makes a way. Okay? Another thing you need to do is get rid of anything they have ever given you that is in your home. Okay? Whether it is jewelry, clothes, anything. I'm going to say it slow for those of you that are in that mindset. Okay? Anything that jewelry, it has a nice place for it in that pawn shop. Right? Those clothes, they have nice racks for it in the Salvation Army, in Goodwill, in the thrift stores, right? That perfume, trash. And you're being told to stop accepting gifts when you can afford it for yourself. Because a lot of people who quote unquote are bringing you gifts, they come in for your gifts. Did you hear what I said? I said a lot of people that are bringing you gifts are coming for your gifts. You see, they've done divination work on you without your knowledge. They found out things about your fortune, about your destinies. Why? Why? Because you were programmed. Why? You were programmed to fear knowledge. Right? Run away from, close your eyes to knowledge. Right? So if truth is here, and truth will set you free, run. BCB, run. Meanwhile, these same people who are telling you to run away from knowledge, run away from divination, run away from meditation, run away from it all, are the same people who are doing it in their closets when you ain't around. They the same people who are doing it in their basements when you ain't around. They're the same people who have reached levels of wickedness that they utilized voodoo dolls. They insert pins and needles. They utilize hammers. They utilize different temperatures. Oh, yes. There's a lot of knowledge you've been running away from. But a lot of knowledge can explain your life. I'm going to say that again. Some of y'all don't. Y'all just don't get it. Y'all don't get it because y'all don't want to get it. Right? You see, that knowledge can assist you with understanding the patterns of your life. You are also being told, do not open yourself up to just anyone that says they're a prophet, they're a pastor, they're a tarot reader, they're an oracle, they're a spiritual practice. Do not open your... When my grandmother was alive, that's something she would say. It's best not to open the door. Right? And although there were no specifics in that statement, but she used to love to say, it's best not to open the door because some doors you cannot close. You see, that door you open to sell your soul, you can't close that no more. All right? Let me be the one to tell you the truth. You cannot close that door no more. Those of you that put the armor of Judas and Jezebel, Delilah, right? You cannot close that door no more. Now, you could believe in the storytellers and the fairy tales that you come across, but understand, in everything there is balance, because balance is the fruit of the universe. So in the half-truths that they're bringing to you, what percentage of it is the truth that you need for you? Don't worry, you could do anything. You could sacrifice somebody. You could rape somebody. You could do black magic. You can just say, I'm sorry. Get on your knees. Get on your knees in front of me. Can I have that check? Get on your knees in front of me. Can I have that check? Can I have your check? You're forgiven. You're forgiven. You're forgiven. Half truths. You're forgiven, you're forgiven, you're forgiven. Half truths. Every action has a reaction. Confirmation. So regardless of how many places you congregate and how many, you're forgiven. Throat chakra games. You're forgiven. You're forgiven. You're forgiven. You receive. Understand. Half truths won't set you free. I'm going to say it again. No, not everyone is happy of what I have to say. Not everyone wants to hear the truth. And not everyone is called. Can I say that again? I said not everyone is called. Some of you were not worthy of hearing the calling. Some of you had the shackles of silver in your palm during the calling. Some of you was busy with Delilah and friends during the calling. Some of you was practicing bestiality. I just deliver the messages. Bestiality during the calling. Abomination. Wow, next card is death. Death. We came across death with the vultures, right? Death. And this ain't no death and rebirth. Not with the depiction on this card, okay? The spirits have come for you. Message delivered, confirmation. I said message delivered, confirmation. All right? Crow. Are you being chased by crows? Are they visiting you? Do they always find a way to you? You may want to do your research on that. Now, next card. Balance is needed. Balance is needed. Balance is the fruit of the universe. Balance is needed. So when you come after someone that hasn't stolen from you, someone that hasn't lied on you, someone that hasn't sent death spells on you, someone that hasn't steal, kill, and destroy, someone that hasn't had any attempts in being instrumental in killing you, in stealing from you, or destroying you. Someone that will not take blame. I'm delivering the messages. Someone that will not and should not take blame. Of the destruction of you. And that is because your hell is self-induced. Your hell backfired. Your hell is what you sent. Your hell is what returned to sender. Your hell is what reversed to sender. Right? And so being in illusion that this person's destroyed me, they've destroyed my life, is not you being in your truth, okay? It's you dwelling in the shadow, all right? Balance is needed. Did you hear that? It's you dwelling in your shadow. Balance is needed. Your death, wow. Confirmation. Your death is self-induced. I just delivered the messages. Your death is self-induced. Your death is self-induced. No one put it on you. No one did black magic on you. No one went to a spiritual practitioner for you. No one went to a tarot reader for you. Nobody went to an oracle for you. Nobody went to a shaman for you. Nobody went to anything for you. My connection is from source. It's from God. No one had to read cards for me. Okay? And I didn't go to any coven. I never took part of any coven. People, I didn't even know the word coven. I didn't even know the word coven until they came after me. Ain't that something? Sometimes it's when they come after you is when you are awakened to the illusions all around you. Right? When they were busy doing divination work on me, doing black magic on me, doing word spells on me, lying on me, defaming my character. I mean, let me tell you how it backfired. Let me tell you. I'm going to give y'all a favor and tell you how it backfired. When you call someone every name you could think of, when you accuse someone of everything you could think of, when you lie about someone, about everything you can fabricate, and you publicize it, share it in your communities, share it on the internet. The spirit of the raven. Why did I say raven? I need to look at that. The spirit of the quail comes to play. Right? While I discuss this with you, I will be looking up raven because I said raven. The spirit of the quail comes to play. What does the quail symbolize? Adaptability to life and creativity, correct? So if everyone thinks I'm a liar, I'm a thief, I'm a killer, I stole, the list is so long to list. Right? If they think everything negative is me, everything is that is evil is me, tell me, what do I have to lose now? Can somebody tell me, cause that sounds like a backfire, ain't it? Could somebody tell me, what do I have to lose now? Right? You've done your work. You were hired. You were paid to destroy me, right? So now that you've accused me of everything that is negative, oh God, I'm just looking at what the raven symbolizes, and I follow my intuition, right? Let me tell you, when you are when you're researching something, the first answer you find is the answer that is being sent, even by way of internet. It's the first answer being sent is the answer that is meant for you to receive. Now, when I put in the symbolism of a raven, the word that came was harvest. Did you hear me? And when I was making reference, I was saying the spirit of the quail comes to play, because when you're being accused of everything and negative and so forth, you learn adaptability to life, right? And you learn to move on with your life and create another one, right? Without looking back, right? Without crying, without asking, please come back, right? Child, that will never happen. Can I just be frank with you? That will never happen. Please come back. That will never happen. Okay? I just had to go there with you because the illusion is overwhelming. It will never happen. Right? Now, there's a little excerpt I would like to read for you concerning the raven, because it was brought to our attention. That's why it just came out. Okay? Raven stands for wisdom, freedom, divinity, secret knowledge, and death. Right? You are crafty, inventive, responsible, playful, and protective. Oh, I love the way it describes it here. The symbolism, right? It stands for wisdom, freedom, divinity, secret knowledge, and death. Now, as a spirit animal, which is what I mentioned, correct? Because I said the spirit of the quail, but then raven came out. So you are crafty, inventive, responsible, playful, and protective. You see? So when y'all came after me with all those swords, 10 plus swords, right? I had to stand up in my craftiness. I had to stand up in my inventiveness. I had to stand up in my being responsible. I had to stand up in my being playful, enjoying my life. I had to stand up in me protecting myself and mine. You get it? That backfire is real. In dreams, ravens may either reflect your wisdom or point of some misfortune in your life. Right? Some other types of information that it's related to, first being transformation. And this is why when it says symbolism stands for wisdom, freedom, divinity, secret knowledge, and death. Death is associated to transformation. Those of you that are still in the illusion that death was not part of my journey, let me wake you up. I was so traumatized by this COVID. I was so traumatized learning that my ex-husband was being paid to poison me, to take from me, to exploit me, to make fun of me, to spy on me. and more. A part of me died, people. Can I be real with you? A part of me died. Gone. Will never come back. I was reborn. The phoenix rising. I was transformed. I was born with the knowledge of self-defense. I was born with the knowledge that I wish somebody would. I was born with the knowledge that I will see the vultures and the sarcasms, the carcasses. I will see. I will be in the presence of. I will witness the vultures, confirmation, the vultures and the carcasses. See, you can't bring death to somebody and think you could say, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't mean it. I was wrong. You know what my ancestors believed? Are you ready? Are you ready to know, honey? You ready to know the truth of what my ancestors, the one truth that I can share regarding death is death for a death. I'm going to say it again. If y'all only knew the time right now, I'll keep it to myself. Death for a death. This is how it backfired. They tried with all of their might to destroy me, because they were displeased with God had planned for me. When they looked in their cards, they saw, she gonna be good with her finances. She gonna be good with her family. She's gonna be good with her talents. It was a problem. It was a problem because their definition wasn't coming out like that, right? Because their productivity wasn't coming out because their birth chart wasn't coming out like that, right? And so those of you that are, with your mouths wide open, I was born on such and such date, such and such year, such and such time, on such and such day. You're being told to shut up. Okay, I'm just telling you the messages, okay? You're being told to shut up. All right? Because some people in your circle are waiting for you to share that type of information in order for them to go to some type of divination worker and ask them to look into their destiny. She was born in such and such time. She was born such and such day of the week. She was born on such and such. Now we know we share birthdays, but you don't need to know what time I was born. None of y'all do. Huh, Kofi? None of them do. You feel me? So, you're missing parts of the puzzle. All right? And the truth is, if someone out there felt kind of insecure now because, oh my goodness, I told my enemies what time I was born. I told them where I was born. I told them the day of the week. And you're feeling a little insecure and you're being targeted right now. God can turn it around. I'm being told to give you hope. God can turn it around. Even with all that information, that God can turn it around. Now I know how. And that's on a need to know basis. You see, that's something else you got to learn when you're dealing with those who want to be vultures and eat your carcasses. Let me tell you something. When you have something going for you, when you have plans, when you have a future, keep that to yourself. Can I say that again? Keep that to yourself. Stop disclosing all the information, all the knowledge. Stop disclosing that. Disclose it at a need to be basis. Is your spiritual support team requesting that you do? That's the need to be basis. I'm going to say it again. Is your spiritual support team requesting that you do? Do you think I would be breathing? If I didn't know how to protect myself? If I didn't know who to connect with? If I couldn't find out, if I didn't learn how to find out who exactly is coming for me? But see, I wanted to disclose some of that information today. And clearly I heard, not today. That information was disclosed to you because you earned it, right? I did my shadow work. I went within. I meditated. I've been dealing with this for a couple of years now. Mind you, I've been divorced since 2019. So when will a divorce is final? Mind you, you're a scam artist. You're a fraud. Clearly, you're not in your right mind to be in the illusion that I owe you some type of commitment. Oi! Papa, oh. Who owes you commitment? Who owes you friendship? Who owes you connection? Who owes you knowledge? Who owes you guidance? What have you done for me? That's the song that I'm hearing right now. What have you done for me lately? Oh, yeah. See, when you've never been there, right? You've never provided for, you've never protected, you never gave a damn. Confirmation, you never gave a damn. This is not the season for you to ask for a helping hand. You co-created your destiny. You backfired. Your journey. I've shared with you before. Everything you do, you pay for on earth. Those with ears will hear. Right? You don't get away with nothing. And those of you that are like, nobody uncovered me yet, I never was on blast yet, you're still breathing, right? Let me see if I could wipe that smirk off my face. You still breathing, right? It's common knowledge that your time will come too, right? As long as you're breathing, honey. See, everything was written down. As long as you're breathing, honey, you will be waiting for that day, that moment, that season. When you see infertility in your children's lives, knowing you did it, 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 you did it with your lies. Your lies influence their lives. And the funny thing is, your karma is coming from your attempts because everything is reversed. Because although I experienced a form of death in spirit, due to being crucified over lies, I'm still here. I can still fulfill my mission. I can still share my story. I can still serve. I can still make a difference. I will still leave an imprint. I am still victorious. I am still shining. I am still loud and clear. I am still guiding. I am still rising. I am still accomplishing. I am still watching. The reverse now is instead of you being the vultures alone, you're also the carcasses as prophesied. I did tell you that you would fight amongst yourselves and you would bring each other down. Didn't I tell you that, Coven? Because I know it's on record, on audio, somewhere. I told you you would turn on yourselves. When it got too hot in the kitchen, you would say, you lied. Why did you do that? You told me to do that. I didn't want to do that. You stole my destiny. You lied. She never did anything to me. You lied. You're affecting my entire family. You lied. You brought disease to me. You lied. You see why y'all turning on each other? Are you watching the prophecy in real time? Can someone, anybody, be in their truth? Because I'm sitting back with my box of popcorn and I'm all right with what I'm seeing. Are you? My God, next card is recognition and reward. Recognition and reward of what I've overcome. All the traps that were set for me. All the ways to entangle me. All the death spells that were done on me. Recognition. I'm still standing. Let me say it slow, because I know that's how you roll, slow. I am still standing and watching. I said, and watching is recognition and reward. And watching. The truth will set you free. I said, the truth is setting us free today. Oh, yes. It set me free. I love the next card is Warrior Woman. What? Who came to play? See, when I came back from the dark night of the soul, right? I came with an agenda, right? To educate, confirmation, those in the collective that have endured, are enduring, or may endure what I've been through and how to get through. Not as a victim. Not just as a survivor. But as a teacher. I'm called for the teachers. I'm called for the teachers. I'm called for those that will be sharing these messages along. And this is why you didn't want me in my place. It's called jealousy. Jealousy. I'm going to say it one more time. Jealousy. Why couldn't I be a teacher? Why was she called? What does she have that I don't have? One, I'm not a liar. Two, I'm not a death mistress. Three, are we just going to overlook prostitution and gigolo? Are we just going to overlook prostitution and being a gigolo? We going to do that today? What you going to teach the folks? How to be a prostitute? I bet you are. Because as I prophesied in the past, your target is the youth. You claim that you are about excellence and, the youth and minorities and half-truths. Those two. And meanwhile, you are recruiting coven members that have to participate in your polygamous affairs. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Tell the truth and shame the devil. But you'd be shaming yourself, right? Truth be told, you'd be shaming yourself. The devil incarnate. Masculine and feminine. Right? Confused most of the time. Don't know how they wake up. Some days they may be masculine. Some days they may be feminine. Can I get a witness? Oh, we still in our truth, right? Oh, the truth doesn't always make us happy, right? But the truth will set us free, right? Emotional healing. You see, people, you need a vent. You need to tell your story. You need to tell your truth. You need to stand in your truth. You need to not back down. That spell work they're doing for you to shut up, you need to send it back to sender. If anybody is going to shut up and sit down, it's going to be you. Because how I'm seeing it, the entire community is looking at you in your truth. They are waking up to the fact that you did spell work by use of glamour spells. You did spell work with intention of sympathy spells. Right? You need everyone to feel sorry for you. You need to blame everything on your childhood. I didn't feel loved. I just wanted to be held a little longer. Life hasn't been fair to me. Well, people, here's some more truth. nobody cares. Can I say some more truth? Nobody cares. Everybody has their own laundry to wash, dry, fold. And the same way we schedule our times and fulfill our schedules by staying on target with your chores. With our chores, you have the same amount of time we have. You have the same amount of 365 days a year we have. You have the same tears we have. But we all have choices, right? And so some of us suffer emotional retardation. The truth will set you free. The truth will set you free. Some of you suffer from emotional retardation. Some of you need to get checked out. Some of you need to stop looking to point fingers, to destroy, to criticize, until you see your reflections. Mic drop. I said until you see your reflection. All right? And that's after putting the crack down. That's after putting the heroin down. That's after putting the Percocet down. That's after putting the alcohol down. Right? Because you need to be in sober mind, right? And it's so fitting that in backfiring, every lie that was told on me was your truth. The community's watching that too. They're also watching the show you putting on too. Soon as you walk away, they gossiping about you too. Ain't that backfiring? Isn't that a self-induced hell? Haven't you proven to be pigs? Greedy and lazy? Aren't you the vultures that wanted to sacrifice and eat on me? Steal what I've created? Make fake profiles? Fake emails? Fake text messages, fake pictures, fake everything in attempt to come after who God said who God said he willed, right? Because you feel that you're so much in your power. You're so much in your witchcraft. You're so much in your illusion that you could tell God to have several seats because you're in control now. That's called God complex, by the way. Your God complex has no effects on reality. Okay? It has effects on the fairy tales you tell yourself. Fitting fairy tales. Right? It's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. How do you heal? You heal by removing the debris, right? You heal by detaching yourself from those that bring sickness and disease. You heal yourself by not connecting to low vibration. You heal yourself by mending your heart. You heal yourself by releasing what no longer, let me ad-lib, what never served you. Okay? It's not even a case of no longer. It's never served you. Never, ever, 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 ever. Right? Next card is waterfall. See, after you release, after you disconnect, after you banish, after you move on, that's when you get under that waterfall, right? You wash any residue off, right? You cleanse yourself from the memories of them, from the odors of them, and you let them roll in the mud. Okay? Next card is fitting because it is fertility. It is after I disconnected, after I released what needed to be said. See, some of you are stuffed up inside, and then this is why you're stuck, right? Because you refuse to release, because you have a disease to please. That won't sound nice. They won't like me. People will look at me differently. Yo, tell yourself whatever you need to tell yourself, okay? But truth be told, until you release, you will not heal. Who's ready to release? If you are, you need to go to God. And you need to ask Him to guide you as to what you need to do to release. Is it something you need to write? Is it something you need to say? How do you release? See, you have your own story. Now, the next card is Black Hound, right? So, as I was talking to you, I looked it up. A black hound A black dog, a black hound, is a supernatural spectral of demonic entity originating from English folklore that has also been throughout Europe and the Americas. It is usually unnaturally large with glowing red or yellow eyes, is often connected with the devil. As an English incarnation of the hell hound, and is sometimes an omen of death. How many times we gonna come across death? Okay, see, we came across vultures, right? And then now we coming across omen of death, and I'm gonna tell you exactly where we came across death again, because 3 times is loud and clear, ain't it? Let me tell you. Oh, yeah. This card, it wasn't even a symbolism. It's the word death. Okay? So first we came across the vultures. Then we came across the card that said death. Now we're coming across the omen of death. Okay? Death. 3 times. Is it 3 people? Is it 3 deaths? Is it 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months? But death 3 times. Check yourself. I said check yourself. Are you in the energy of death? Does the angel of death hover over you? Did you send a death spell? Did it backfire to you? A tale of the quail, the pig, and the vulture. The story goes on. Change. Sometimes death has to occur because people refuse to change. They refuse to shut up and sit down. They refuse to accept that God's in control. They refuse to stop with their spell word. They refuse to stop with their attempts of murder. They refuse to stop hiring hitmen. They refuse to stop. Right? So sometimes God gave some time. Right? But when it's common knowledge that He gave you some time, and you utilize that time by continuing to do spell work, continuing to do moon magic, that part. Oh, that's back to sender. That last full moon, that's back to sender. Wait on it. I said wait on it. They are so dense. Like, I keep trying to tell. I'm trying to not put you all out there because what I want to call you, I ain't going to call you right now. But I keep trying to tell y'all that every time you try to come after me, I'm notified. Right? Not for the purpose of being in danger, but in the purpose of my prayer return to sender. See, my spiritual support team didn't come to play. So every time, wow, Look at the wordplay. Every time you come back for me, you're digging your grave. 3 times in. You're digging your grave. Spell work was done last night. I'm going to tell y'all straight up. Like I know every night. I know every day. I know every time. It was done last night. And what I love about these back to senders, oh, you can ask for judgment. You feel me? Ain't that something? You could ask for you don't only have to ask for, it doesn't stop there, people. Can I tell the survivors what's up? It doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop at back to sender. God, I'm tired. God, conquer. Finalize. I'll let you read between the lines. You feel me? Oh, you have the right to ask God and keep your hands clean, ain't it? Huh? You have the right to ask God and keep your hands clean. And the goal for this warrior woman is to keep her hands clean. I didn't do it. But did you do it to yourself? Or did God handle you promptly as requested? Okay? Because some people refuse to respect themselves, and I can't make you respect yourself. I don't got time for that. You know? That's on you. That's not my plight. You know? You've been warned time after time after time after time, tired of saying time, and you still want to play. So play and find your way. It ain't my fault you attracted to your grave. But one thing I know for sure, you don't get to come after me and for me to not have the right to ask God, oh, it's time to go after them. Right? I'm going to keep my hands clean, but God, it's your time to go after them. Okay? If they are doing magic on your eyes, on your heart, on your crown, on your digestive system, on your sacral, your womb, your root. Whip that back to sender. That's a confirmation. Okay? With that back to sender, you can request that God make them stop. And honey, you don't ask for no temporary stops. Can I help you out? Make them permanently stop. If it's to make them not be able to read again, if it's to make them to not be able to see the spell words again, if it's to make them to not be able to listen on me so they can go do spell work on me again, if it, confirmation, y'all. I said confirmation. Those of you chosen choose to use your power. I'm going to say that again. Those of you chosen, choose to use your power. Today is a special day. All right? Let me share something with you. Today is 111. Today is January 11th. Today, the power of manifestation is no joke. Today, your ancestors wanted to be known. Today, talk to God while you're alone. Talk to God while you're alone. Nobody else has to know. Just you and God. Right? In the privacy of your connections to God. Passion ignited. Let me tell you, for sure, when you are attacked, there comes a point where you begin to develop a passion of protecting yourself. You begin to develop a passion for back to senders. You begin to develop a passion of asking for judgment. Passion with intention is manifested. Let me say that again. Passion with intention is manifestation. Okay, 111? Okay, 111? It's the right day. It's the right time. It's the right play. You feel me? They pulled that chair up to play chess with you, didn't they? They just didn't know who was guiding you, did they? Ain't that something? Tell me why the next card is Thunderstorm. Child, the next card is Thunderstorm. Read between the lines. The next card is Thunderstorm. Lightning striking at the heart. Thunderstorm. Right? Right after your intention. Hey! Right after your intention and your passion with your manifestation. People, you arrive at thunder. The thunder of the righteous is the most powerful. If, in case you didn't know, the thunderstorm of the righteous is the most powerful thunderstorm you can endure. Y'all ready for that? Let them be ready. Okay? Let them be ready. Let them get it together. Child, the next card is opening to your spiritual source. Okay? Opening to your spiritual source. Confirmation. And this is me reminding you that you need to talk to God. Okay? Because He is your spiritual source. Okay? And He could help you read between the lines those which you're overlooking. Okay? So you could skyrocket in your passion. And you could be thorough in your intention. And you could get recognition in your manifestation. And be rewarded. In divine timing. You better talk to God. You better put that phone down, because telling her and telling him ain't telling God. You need to talk to God. God shows up when you're in battle. David needed God to fight Goliath. And it's due time for these wannabes to get knocked upside their heads. No, for real though. It's time for them to get knocked upside their heads. Have God equip you with the right weapons. My weapon is the sword of truth. My weapon is the sword of truth. My weapon is the sword of truth. What's yours? What's yours? In your authenticity, who are you? Because who are you would determine your weapon to freedom. Let that marinate. Who you are will determine your eligibility to your weapon to freedom. So, y'all, the next card is completeness. See, with God, you are complete. Those of you that were broken, oh my goodness, but I believe in the hype of twin flames. I believe in that. Okay. Do you believe in God? Do you believe that there are karmic twin flames? Fake twin flames? Do you believe that you don't need toxicity to make you complete? Do you believe God can bring balance to your existence in your masculine and feminine? Do you believe I feel complete? No, I am complete. I thank God for making me complete. With no trace of Judas, no trace of Jezebel, no trace of sickness, no trace of disease, no trace of corruption, no trace of cursed bloodline. No trace of it, y'all. I said no trace of it. Evolution, next card. Evolution birthing the new. Evolution birthing the new. It's a new day. So after the death of me came the rise of me, right? And it birthed in me this new day. In my strength, in my power, in my truth. Next card is intuition. If there's something I do every day besides breathe and blink, is follow my intuition. Okay? And this is something you are being highly recommended to do. Before you follow the masses' guidance. Why did I say masses and I heard masters? True story. Some people revere these psychos as masters. You know? They bow down to them. They submit to them. They give their bodies to them. They get diseased by them too. I just relay the messages. Wow. Next card. Soul loss. That's what my intuition is telling me. Their souls are lost. Okay. I'm following my intuition. Matter of fact, the next card is visionary. Some things I just know. Other things I see. Other things I hear. And I've got enough prophecy to know where it benefits me to stand. Okay? Rejuvenating rain. Clear the past. Heal the present. I told y'all, You need to clean house. You need to declutter. You need to detach. There's a philosophy that a lot of you are familiar with as far as hearing of feng shui. One of the principles in relation to that, don't keep anything that's broken because it carries that energy. Whether it is a broken cup, a broken chair, a broken bracelet, whatever it is, release it. Because it's interfering with the energy that you want around you. Energy is contagious. And so if you are aware that someone is broken in spirit, you are aware that they're cursed, you are aware that they're experiencing karma, how would your rational mind determine should be your next approach? We know that you have rational mind. We know that you have emotional mind, but we want to stay in our wise mind. In wisdom, I know if you are experiencing the wrath of God and I am close to you enough, it may fall on me. I'm just telling you the truth, okay? I said confirmation. Yeah. Y'all can't tell me y'all didn't hear that confirmation. Okay? And so in your misery, and you surrender and say, I'm sorry. Doesn't mean that I'm going to let you come into my life, sit next to me, connect to me. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I've already experienced my dark night of the soul. I've already experienced my rebirth. I've already closed that cycle. I've already learned that lesson. I've already learned how to love myself. And until, channeled message, until you learn to love yourself, you will continue to experience these cycles over and over and over and over. I'm tired of saying over again. Until you learn to love yourself too. Don't allow the programming of the oppressors to confuse you. Make it make sense. If we want to continue to oppress them, we have to tell them to turn the other cheek. We have to tell them to forgive. We have to tell them. Well, the message I'm receiving today is you need to learn to forgive yourself, okay? You need to learn to forgive yourself for allowing losers into your life. You need to forgive yourself for allowing these losers to waste your time. You need to forgive yourself for closing your eyes to knowledge. You need to forgive yourself in not knowing who you are. Forgive yourself. All right? In this season, in your journey, you're being called to forgive yourself. Okay? It's called a process. Okay? Nobody comes in line before me. Okay? In my truth, I will be. And so I will forgive me. Now you could do what you want to do, or you could heal. My objective in this talk is to sway you to healing by telling your truth, sharing your strength, sharing how you stood back up again. It takes courage. Faith. Perseverance. Relentlessness. Confirmation. And confirmation that you are never alone. Learn to accept that truth. Learn to be in the awareness of that truth. Learn to appreciate that truth. You are never alone. Next card is power. 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 You are never alone. Next card is cooperation. You see, when you cooperate with your spiritual support team, you get things done. Right? So as you follow your intuition and you follow your guidance, the universe cooperates with you. It's a choice. You're being reminded to balance your chakras. That's the next card. Truth. Truth is the next card. Remain in your truth, because the truth will set you free. Next card is firm foundation. You see, when you're in your truth, and only when you're in your truth, do you have a firm foundation. And as a matter of fact, the next card is wisdom. That is wisdom. Wisdom is to remain in your truth. Don't make it pretty. Don't make it sound good. Don't look for validation. Remain in your truth, because that is wisdom. Next card is triumph. In my truth, in my firm foundation, in my wisdom is what brought me to triumph. Next card is rise. On the rise. On the rise. Can I say on the rise? You ain't gonna stop me now. That's the song I'm hearing. Next card is eternal love. Love is God. God is love. Eternal love. Eternal love. The oneness of eternal love. Get ready. That's the next card. Get ready for new horizons. See, after you experience healing, by way of releasing, detaching, disconnecting, moving, blocking, not entertaining. And the reason why not entertaining was just channeled, it's because many of your offenders will say, but let me talk. Let me explain myself. Not entertaining. I don't got time. Not entertaining. Use that same energy amongst yourself. As it was in that energy that you decided, that you plotted, that you made execution of sacrificing me. And so today I don't have the time. Enough of my time was wasted. I don't owe you no time. I don't owe you nothing. Besides, block. That's all I owe you. Cutting cords, block, dismissed, released, a bag full of earned treats. Right? Rewrite your story, people. That's the next card. Rewrite your story. Your trauma, your experience, your near-death experience, does not define you. You define you. One of my favorite quotes is to define yourself for yourself. Define yourself for yourself. Next card is guidance. There's plenty of guidance available to those who are open to it, who are open to the energy of it. That's what I'm channeling. And so if you want guidance, you need to ask God to open your eyes to where to receive it, where to hear it, when to do it, how to do it. Don't ever spend a day in your life without asking God for guidance. Okay? Be aware. The next card is glamour spells. Be aware that your offenders will be doing glamour spells to try to look more attractive, to get you to take a second glance, to whatever the case. Be in the awareness that misery likes company. And they don't want to go down alone. And so they're going to do anything to try to convince you to believe, I'm sorry. Can we be together, please? Knowing that soon as you take that step and look back, you turn into a pillar of salt, frozen. For eternity. Everybody got choices. But I choose to be in alignment with God's will for me because there's no other place I want to be but in the presence of God, in the power of God, in the protection of God, in the guidance of God, in the love of God. Because that's when I receive and where I receive all my favor. And so I would like to guide you to recognize God. Recognize God. Because your reward is in God. You get it? You got to take that step of recognition of the Most High to get in a lane for reward. You can't be in the business of calling yourself God, trying to change people's destinies, trying to change people's fortunes, trying to change. There's no alignment in that. Which brings you to the conclusion of no reward, because the last card for today is order and peace. Right? No reward for those who are out of order. And who do not know peace. I'd like to thank God for assisting me in channeling today, because I really did not know. One, if all the information would get out, because like I said, I had a pretty large spread before me today, but I trusted in God and I let Him use me. In the capacity that He chose, in the direction that He chose, in the assurance that He chose. And due to that, He rewarded me by assisting me to fulfill the task that I had ahead of me. I hope that this time we shared together will assist you in recognition of what character you are in the tale of the quail, the pig, and the vulture. And my hope is that you'll utilize your wise mind, your intuition, your God source to evolve. 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 Be well. Peace.